YouTube street racers are destroying their lives. Live, damn.
This YouTube street racer was almost arrested in Times Square after hitting a cop with his Lamborghini and barely getting away.
They looking for him. Chad, he's wanted driver in 52 states. Now, if the police come, Chad, we taking off.
Police.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just get in.
They're coming.
Wait, did he just get into like some random guy's car?
Oh, shit, look, get
While
there. Oh, shit.
If you thought Times Square was just about tourists and a bunch of Elmo clones hustling selfies, think again, because earlier this month it turned out to something out of a set from a Need for Speed cutscene. A blue Lamborghini Urus driven by the YouTuber known as
Oh, do you know what this reminds me of? Like, I don't know if this story is true or not, but apparently when they were shooting the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and they needed to, like, I think take some shots on the, I think the Shibuya Junction, I believe, the thing where like there's a shit ton of people cross that road, right? So like they didn't get permission from the local police or authorities, and what they did was they showed the scenes anyways, and they just like hired some guy to like pretend to be the director, and the police just took the decoy director and put him in jail or like fined him, and they just like the actual director just fucking continued shooting the movie. I don't know how true that is, but people be doing crazy shit to make content.
license plowed through the middle of New York, clipped a cop, and smashed into a pedicab, which is one of those like bicycle taxis, and sent
I've never seen this in my life. I did not even know that New York had this.
Times Square into absolute chaos, all while the entire situation was being live streamed on kick.com.
The police officers were pounding on the car with their fists and batons, trying to break the windows and force the doors open, but License stayed calm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 7 police.
Slammed his foot on the gas and sped away before they could stop him.
And now license
I mean, there's no point in running away, right? Because like it's such a busy street, and like it's like really famous that there are cameras everywhere. Like they are going to catch you eventually, even if you would like even if they were not live, they would have been caught. So it doesn't make sense to like run away. Like the live streaming, they're like live streaming their own crimes. Like that's a completely different level, right? But like the place is so famous that if you do something at that place, that Times Square, there are cameras everywhere. Like there's no way you're running away from all those cameras. Like you will get caught.
License is still on the run, posting content, and the NYPD are probably hunting him harder than ever. So who is this guy that I'm actually referring to? Well, License is one of those guys who became famous for cutting up traffic outside of New York City while avoiding the police. He's on YouTube,
How do you become famous for like literally breaking traffic rules? Like how do you get clout out of breaking traffic rules?
Instagram, TikTok, and
Crazy,
kick.com,
yeah, crazy
where
world
he's
we live
essentially
in.
built this following of over 700,000 followers by
Damn.
posting this wild street racing content. And when I say wild street racing content, it's just like wildly stupid.
Oh, look
I
at
mean,
that duck.
essentially, he's just cutting through traffic, putting everyone at risk, including himself and the people who are sitting in the car with him.
If he has done this multiple times purposefully, right? Like just like cancel his fucking like driver's license, and like never let him get a new one. Like suspend his driver's license indefinitely. Do not let him get a new driver's license.
And overall, I mean, the driving isn't even that impressive. If you put any of these guys on a track, they would get clapped by someone who actually knows how to drive. Essentially, you have a bunch of
'cause
high-performance
professionals.
rentals just going way too fast through the New York City traffic, putting everyone at risk. And then they're obviously filming this with dash cams and POV cameras and uploading it to YouTube to monetize it. And they make a point.
They got not one, not two, but 3 camera sitting in the back.
to
3.
blur out the license plates, and on top of that, distorts voice and hides behind a mask. So he's obviously trying to hide his identity for as long as he can. Hundreds of thousands of people have watched him speed through New York, but as of right now, he has still not been caught.
It's a dangerous trend known as throughway swimming. It's when cars drive recklessly on highways, causing near misses or weaving through lanes.
Do you feel like you're a danger to society? No. How worried are you about being caught by the police?
Not worried at all.
Unlike his friend,
How are people like contacting him and getting him to interview, but like, the police cannot catch him? That's crazy, bro. There are people really contacting him to quote unquote like for an interview. I get just pretend to be like one of those people who wants to interview him, man. Hey, that's
Squeeze Benz, who was actually arrested a year ago. And if you go through his content, every video of him is either him taunting police, dodging chases, and then disappearing to park one of his rented cars in locations that he claims he only knows the location of. So when the news hit that he was almost caught in Times Square, that got a lot of attention. So here's
wait. So he doesn't even own like those cars. He like rents those cars and drives them recklessly on the streets.
how it all went down.
He
A
doesn't
Tuesday
even
night
own-
at the beginning of
own them.
August, License was in Times Square with some streamers who happened to be live at the time, including one streamer by the name of Shangle, who had his own camera rolling inside the Lambo during the entire police situation. At first, it looks like the usual kind of like clout chasing fans stopping
Shangle.
for pics, guys hanging out near the car, nothing out of the ordinary. But then you notice something. Cops already watching from across the street, and not just one, multiple units. And within like 45 seconds, NYPD had cars pulling in from 3 different directions. And that's no coincidence. That's a planned setup. They were positioning to box him in before he could bail. Then chaos
Oh,
erupts.
so they were already like set up to catch him, even before he hit the cop.
Lamborghini lunges forward, cops surrounded it, and pedestrians scatter. Also, keep in mind that this is Times Square, one of the busiest places on earth. So
Yeah.
when I say pedestrians, there were a lot of them. And during all of this chaos, a pedicab, which is like, the bicycle
Probably
taxi,
thousands.
it was hit, and NYPD says one officer's foot got ran over. So not exactly life-threatening, but easily enough to
Dang.
add assault to an officer onto the existing rap sheet. But here's where it gets a little bit blurry, because some people online are speculating they heard gunshots, with even some people in the car coming to that conclusion.
Oh my God. Yeah!
I make his first video crazy, bro.
Brother's back!
And this tells us he's definitely not in custody and that he's going to have to move a lot quieter. I mean, you can even see him worry in this clip.
Oh, look at it, bro. Call me. I was about to leave. Hey, right now, you look very familiar. I'm scared.
But going back to the most important detail, the way cops act in this situation, because it's interesting that they managed to surround him that quickly in Times Square, as this might be a sign of them actually watching the stream. Normally, if you call NYPD about an actual crime in progress, you're waiting for 10 to 15 minutes or maybe even longer. But in
Okay.
this situation, they were already there. So to me, it seems like a targeted operation, and it
So
lines up
yeah, they were already there to catch him because of the live streams. Obviously, they knew where he was.
with what NYPD has been talking about regarding their social media monitoring unit. They announced last year that they're
Basically,
actually
it's like they are basically live streaming their GPS.
watching streamers and social media accounts in real time. So if you're broadcasting your location with thousands of viewers, you're not just streaming to your fans, you're also most likely streaming to the cops. And remember, this isn't the first time cloud
Yeah.
chasing drivers have ran into the cops, because you have Squeeze Benz, a 19-year-old who went viral drifting through Times Square last year. He
Okay.
posted similar content fairly
Right, so-
regularly. And
okay.
if you remember, he was arrested as well last year.
Oh, nah.
Doing this.
Because he thought he was completely untouchable until
Doing this
NYPD
around
in
the-
Newark
around
PD
the
actually built a
cop car
case off his
is
social media
diabolical.
footprint and arrested him. His videos literally became the evidence. That's, a similar road
Yeah.
that License is speeding down as we speak.
He's
So-
like he's doing it, taking the videos and posting that online for the police and the judge to see.
The difference is that Squeeze never ran over a cop's foot, and License allegedly did. And that's honestly the line you really
Yeah,
don't
so
want to
it's
cross.
like you added. I think that's a assault charge. Right? So assault on an officer is added that charge to his thing.
when it comes to law enforcement. Assaulting an officer, even if it's just a foot injury, is the kind of charge prosecutors stack on top of everything else. So where is License today? Well, free currently, but definitely not safe. He might be posting right now, but every stream, every Instagram story, every clip of him flexing is just more fuel to whatever case the NYPD is currently building on him. They're not rushing this. They're gathering every single piece of content, every angle, every stream, and they'll wait for the perfect time to move
Yeah,
again.
they're making like a really strong case against him to like put him out for good, I guess.
If they're willing to swing batons at a Lamborghini in Times Square surrounded by tourists and Broadway billboards, just imagine what happens when they finally corner him in somewhere quieter. And let's just talk about the big what if, because what happens if NYPD actually managed to arrest License? Because now it's not just traffic ticket situations anymore. First off, there's the Times Square incident itself. Cops say officer's foot actually got ran over. That alone could turn into assault on an officer, which
Yeah.
in New York can jump from a misdemeanor all the way up to a felony, depending on the injuries. And even though the cops' injuries were reported as minor, the fact that it actually happened during an active police operation makes it a huge deal. Then you have the reckless endangerment, because he was allegedly speeding through Times Square.
Yeah,
one of the
because there are like thousands of people on Times Square at any given time. So, dude, like that's a big case as well.
busiest tourist spots on Earth, with pedestrians and cars everywhere. That is literally textbook reckless endangerment, which is also a felony when people are put at risk of serious harm. And since the reports say a pedicab and other bystanders got hit, that only makes things worse. Then you add on the fleeing and eluding police, which is another charge that can jump up depending
So
on how
he's
dangerous the chase
fucking-
was.
He's playing fucking Mario Kart in Times Square, eh? Just getting all the all the power ups. Fucking assault on a police officer, endangering people's lives, breaking rules, hitting probably pedestrians, or that fucking the thingy that he's talking about. So he's just fucking getting all the power ups, eh?
And this was one in front of hundreds
Max
of witnesses on stream
level-
in 4K. And then
level
finally, you can't
99
forget the
Mario
car
Kart.
itself, because he's always on high-end rentals. If prosecutors can prove that he used fake info, or if those cars were damaged while being driven illegally, that can also tack on fraud or Grand Theft Auto type charges.
Yeah, he's-
But obviously, the kicker is all of this is happening while he's actively being shown on live streams and his own YouTube videos. So it's not like this is just like one incident that can be used against him. It's his whole YouTube channels. So literally every time he does something like this, it just becomes more and more evidence.
Okay, so people who like willingly take him into their own like lives, like streams, they should have actions towards them as well, because they know he's breaking some fucking rules, and they are still like they're basically partaking in that's what crime by assistance or something, I don't know, but dude, like then they know he's gonna break some rules, do some bad shit, and they are like willingly engaging into that shit. Like they like the streaming platform also should take some repercussions for those people who are letting him into the stream knowingly, like well, that what he does.
Oh God! Oh my God! No, it's all full over.
I mean, no wonder Jack looks so scared here. He's very aware of how easy cars can crash.
Yeah.
Oh no!
The bottom line is, like, half the people we cover here on this channel, every video, every TikTok, every kick stream, he's basically just farming more evidence against himself. So I would not be surprised if he ends up just like Squeeze Benz, because that dude, he thought he was untouchable until cops essentially pieced together months of footage and hit him with a mountain of charges. License is arguably way more reckless, and
Yep.
now that an officer has been hurt, the system has every reason to come down even harder on him. Bottom line, if they catch him, License could be staring down multiple felonies, years in prison, and a giant pile of civil lawsuits from
Yeah.
anyone
Do you think like does people like really think it's worth it, like getting this quick fame for risking like your and rest of your entire fucking life being in jail or something, or even worse, dude?
hurt in these stunts? License might think that he's playing some game, but the truth is, the game has definitely changed. And also, just doing this in New York City is incredibly stupid, because you have more CCTV cameras there than like any other city in America. So it's really not that
And
hard
in
for the police to
in
just
Times Square as well, where it's like I would say arguably the most famous place, like of the New York City, where like everybody, if people go to New York, they go to Times Square.
pinpoint where he's parking his cars. But obviously, social media clout got him famous, but it's also given the cops a playbook, and the more he posts content, the closer they get. But
Yep.
at least he wasn't super gluing veneers into people's mouth like this woman was, who's currently facing 15 years in prison for that.
Damn.
So I would definitely check out that story here because it is just an insane story. But other than that, drop a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hey.
Peace.
Take a look at this.
Damn, go back, dude.
Getting away.
Hey, good video. Good video.